Hello guys, welcome back to this channel, and as you can see, I have a wand right here. It is the Elder Wand. Most powerful wand in Harry Potter, or in Harry Potter history. And yeah, so as you can see, close up, it looks pretty much just like the actual Elder Wand in the movies. So that's awesome. This is the one I chose. It was between this one or Draco Malfoy's, but that one was out of stock. So it was not a question because which one I was going to choose. Although Hermione's was pretty cool too, but this one I think I made the right decision. Anyway, I will be talking about Universal in a future video, and we'll see what happens there, I guess. I'll do a test video on the one. Maybe I'll see how it goes with my editing stuff. I can't take this seriously. I didn't get the interactive ones that they sell in Universal because they were so much more expensive. Anyway, not much to say, but I think we can get right into it. I'll put this wand away so I won't be tempted throughout the entire video. Starting off what this movie's about, this movie has the kids at Hogwarts at another year of Hogwarts, where the stakes are higher, are much more dangerous than they're looming through the Chamber of Secrets. And within that, you have this plot line about this house elf who doesn't want Harry to go back to school because there's something dangerous going on. And then chaos ensues from there, like with the car and the Whomping Willow. You get introduced to other stuff, like a rogue bludger, for example. That was kind of random. And then you have our characters that have to solve the mystery, essentially. Starting off with the good, overall, I think what I like about this one, compared to the first one, I'd say this one has a much more focused story overall. In the first one, it was a bit more scattershot and everything. But this one, actually, like, legitimately, it's much more, as I said, it's a much more focused storyline, and it has more, I wouldn't say more depth necessarily, but you're more intrigued. You want to see them solve the mystery more so than you want them in the first one. You still want them to solve the mystery, but the mystery is sort of an afterthought in that one, but in this one it's put to the forefront. And I think I kind of like that in some cases. Other thing, it introduces 3 characters that I really like. First one is Lucius Malfoy. I think he is a great character. He's probably at his best in this movie. Second one is obviously Dobby. I think he's actually really funny at times. At times he's a little annoying, I think, especially in that opening little scene that he's in. But then at the end of the movie, and especially in Deathly Hallows Part 1, I really like this character. Another one, I think Kenneth Branagh just steals the show with this character of Gilderoy Lockhart. I think he's great. He's not like the best character or anything. I like his little post-credit scene, if you didn't know. I'll talk about that at the end of the video, though. So, and I think he's just so much fun in the role, brings a lot of life and joy to it, and I think that's what I really like about the character, and the way he ends up is pretty satisfying, I guess. Although it's a little odd that they don't fact check him at all. I don't know, maybe wizards just are so into propaganda, they don't follow it. I don't know. Other thing, I think the overall CGI is a huge improvement of the first one. There's some weird CGI in the first one. At the same time, some of it's great, but other things like that troll, even for the time, it probably looked kind of weird. But then when you get to the Basilisk, probably one of the best CGI things in this entire franchise. I think it looks fantastic. And then you have other things, like I think the way the kind of story and then the way it kind of ends out when you have Tom Riddle, the diary, which you learn it has another significance as you get onto the franchise. I think that whole plot line really works well. I think all the set pieces, as they said, they're all amazing, just like in the first one. And you have other things you're introduced to, like a rogue bludger. You get introduced to house elves. To an extent, you get introduced to a Horcrux. I know you don't really get introduced to that until Half-Blood Prince, really, but technically speaking, you do. You get introduced to many other things, and I think all of those elements are all really cool. Our characters, I think the child actors are much better in this one than they were in the first one, because they improved as actors. They're getting older, obviously, so I think they just did a better job. And overall, I think everything here works for the most part. I have a bunch of issues, though. And there are 2 main ones specifically. And overall, I think this one, I'll talk about them later. But I think there's just some great little sequences. I think this one, just like the first one, is a great piece of family entertainment. That's just some great escapism. If I'm not having a very good day, I think these first two, and a lot of the other Harry Potter movies are perfect to put on, especially these first two actually. And I've always really liked this one. It's not without issues though. Now I have the mixed stuff, and the only thing I'm really kind of mixed on, it's not so I don't know I don't remember if this is something in the books. I only read the first two books, but that was a while ago, and that is Draco Malfoy. I think they make him a bit too mean spirited, a bit too much of a bully. I don't know about mean spirited. They make him too much of a bully. Like they go a bit too far at times. Like saying there's a bunch of stuff that he says that I don't know if it I don't know how much it closely ties to the book, and they make him a bit too much of a bully. I mean, they make him really seem like he wants to kill somebody, and for a 12-year-old, that's not really right. I don't know. There are some odd decisions there, and it's a little, and I've always found this to be kind of weird. I'm like, why is he so much? Why is he so like this? Not even his father was this bad. I don't expect him to be a nice guy. I don't expect him to be this mean. I have the bad, and the main thing I really don't like about this movie is it's so long. It's a minute shorter than The Godfather, which shouldn't be the case. There are many instances where I'm literally checking my phone for what time it is, and this is still going. And you don't quite feel the length, I'd say, but at times you do. By the time you get to the spider scene, that you feel like you've been sitting there forever. And the problem is the pacing is weird, because at the beginning it moves so slowly, and just like the first one, it's not until 45 minutes where you get to Hogwarts. The first one they had to set up everything. This one they didn't have to do anything, and then they were spending time with the Weasleys. They had stuff with Gilderoy Lockhart and Diagon Alley, which I'm okay with Diagon Alley, but the way it's used here, it's overused, and a bit of an issue if you ask me. I don't know. My thoughts. So overall, yeah, and then especially as you keep going, the mystery, it takes a while to really get into the mystery. It's not until almost Quidditch is about I'd say about halfway into the movie, I want to say, and then you're still not quite far into the mystery. The Chamber of Secrets, I say that whole thing with the blood on the wall doesn't start until quite a bit, I'd say almost an hour and a half into the movie. So you're not really get kicked into the intrigue until pretty late in the movie. The mystery itself is good, but everything before, and then the pacing is so weird, because it moves so slowly at the beginning, moves pretty fast, as you get a bit later, and then moves really slowly again, and then picks up speed at the end. And granted, I do quite like the final battle quite a bit, because of all the CGI with the basilisk and the Gryffindor sword, and the way it kind of sets up for the rest of the Harry Potter movies. I think all of that is great, but overall, just way too long. This could have been, you could have trimmed 20 minutes of this movie out. Granted, and I think they could have just introduced Gilderoy Lockhart sometime at the Hogwarts castle, and then maybe they could have trimmed so many things in this movie. You could trim the Nocturne Alley subplot where you meet Lucius Malfoy. You could have totally trimmed that part out. That's a good 5-minute scene that you could have trimmed out. Just find some mini stuff. And I think the thing is that in the earlier, because I think the first two are the shortest movies and books, or shortest books, and the thing is that the first one's middle of the road, and the second one's the longest movie. Because I think that's because they weren't adapting to the book; they were copying the book and trying to put everything in there. Which I think they learned their lesson as they went on with the franchise, as the books got longer. Because it's not like they can make 4-hour movies. So I still enjoy this one. For its final score, I'm gonna give it a 7.2 out of 10. I still quite enjoy it. I still think this one's a lot of fun. It's very cool to see the basilisk, the CGI is improved, but just the length. If this one was shorter, I think this one could have been one of my favorite ones. But for now, it gets a 7.5 out of 10, I'd say. So yeah, tell me what you think about this movie in the comments below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you like the Elder Wand? Oh, you can't see it on camera. I'll just grab it. There you go. Do you like this wand? Should I get something to hang it up? I actually have a bit of an idea for that. So yeah, Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios. Bye.